Hi, you guys. I'm going to try to explain what you're seeing in front of you, and I'm going to go as slow as I can because it's super duper important. So, I'm always trying to explain how the Hebrew language was transferred to Greek and then to English. And whilst doing that, the mathematics and the intent of the Hebrew letter is lost in translation. So, what you see here is the top row. I'm going to explain it and I'm going to pull back. Don't worry. The top row is our alphabet, but only through the letter V. The second row, that's our English numerics, 1 through 10. But what you'll notice is when I get to the 10, I drop the zeros. And then you can see 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I drop the ones. And then as you get down to the end, I also drop the ones. It's because they're extra. Zeros and ones are extra. Now, the third line is the Hebrew alphabet abbreviations. So A is for Aleph, B is for Bet, G is for Gimel, D is for Dalet, H is for Hey, V is for Vav, etc. So their alphabet goes down in the third row. So it's English, English, Hebrew, and then also in the Hebrew, each letter has a numeric equivalent also. But what's important to know is also when I got to where it would turn to 10, I drop the zeros. As you're going into the double digits, you drop the 1 and the 0. That's what's important to know because it's just the way it works. I can't really explain it. So there's a lot of things to know that are really, really cool in here, you guys. First thing I want to point out to you is our A's match up, A1, B2, but when you get to the C, the English version of C and the equivalent is 3. 3 is, C is the third letter. In the Hebrew, the third letter is Gimel, G-I. And so you take that G and put it in place of the 3, but it still kind of looks like a C. Okay? So then you have D for Dalet, 44, double D, you know what I'm saying? Now, what's interesting is when you get to where the FG is, that's what gives us 67, but it also gives us V for Vav, and Z for, I think you say it Zion, 7. Their number 7 is Zion, so it starts with a Z. So think about the song a little bit faster than they did in 66. Twist Little Sister, Go to Heaven, 67. I mess up the lyrics all the time. But it also gives us VZ. Okay, I'm going to get there in a minute. I'm going to explain. Now, even more interesting than that is when you're going along and you get to HIJK, the corresponding numerics are 911. Okay, so it's hijack, 911, like in the song Mountains, hijack in the air. We have the hijack of September 11th there. You guys, if you don't get it all at once, you can go back and rewind. You'll see that what I'm saying makes perfect sense because I explained to you already that the K is the equivalent to the number 11. It's also equivalent in Hebrew to the letter Kuf or Kaf. I'm not sure how you say it, but it starts with a K. So our letter English is K, the number 11, and then their letter is number 11 too, and that's what gives us the KKK or 33rd degree gematria, pardon me, as you can see I carried down. There's a lot of things going on here. So after the hijack of 9/11 there, you guys, you can see MNO, which in upside down gematria numerics is, you got it, NWO. So after the hijack, you got the NWO. So as we're moving along, you guys, let me pull out again. I'm going to try to make this make sense. It's very, very hard for even me to explain. You can see that with the letter C, it spells egg, E-G-G, because if you see what they do is you can transpose, instead of going 1, 2, 3, you can go 1, 2, G again, because that's just how they switch their letters. But no matter what, you're still in row C where you got 3G, 3, or you can do egg. So anyway, what's interesting is if you carry down the C and then you make it just a short C, it also can look like the L in Lucifer. Now, what I mean to say is you bring down the C, you bring down the F, and you bring down the R. That's 18, that's 666. You bring down the F, that's 6. You bring down the C, but it takes on because it has the, the magic egg, I guess, that it can become, pardon me just a second. Oh, it's Lucifer. So it's 369, and then 18 and 18 is 36. So it's a little confusing at first, and I know I'm not the best at describing it yet, but I'm trying to get there. Now, also what you can see in the middle there is where we did the 33rd degree with the KKK and the hijack 9/11. Is when I wrote KKK, it's interesting that it really fits the name Kirk, which goes along with the investigation. So just another old man Johnson's farm thing. So then you have the NWO. Now, if you carry down the 6-7 to the VZ, you guys, that's like Vatican City. Also up here, where the 9/11 hijack is, it also gives us our Y2K. Because as you can see, there's the Y, there's the 2, and there's the K. Because then after that was the year 2000, is 1999, 2000 party over, oops, out of time. Know what I'm saying? So even if you don't, you will come to know, because this is really new to me too. So let's see. Oh yeah. And then also when you're going across the alphabet, you see how the H lines up to the letter 8, and it also lines up to the Hebrew letter 8. Well, that's what gives us the 808, which actually totals 16, which is the upside down of 91. You see what I'm saying? And then all the files start with the number 16, and it's the goes back to Genesis, where the ark landed there on the oh golly, I have it written down somewhere. It's where the ark landed on the 6th month, or 601st year, the first of the month, the first of the month. So it gives us the original 6-1. So then they do the 808, which is Maui I am, that totals 16 upside down. And it gives us the 6,000 years of creation, 1,000 years Sabbath rest, which is interesting as you get to the end. Also, let me point out, you guys, the 314 413 pi equation that I'm always talking about. When you do the numerics between the English and the Hebrew, you'll notice that if you skip the 2, you suss the 2, okay? 1, 3, 4. So there's pi the first time, okay? Second down here where the KKK is, when you suss the 2, you get 413 equals pi, because they add the 3 and the 1, which gives them the 4, and then it's 413 if you suss the 2, or you have the 413 here, whichever way you choose. Now, as it goes in and they introduce the NWO after the 9/11 hijack there, and then it goes along, what you'll see as it gets towards the end is it's TUV, because the Hebrew alphabet only has the 22 consonants. And TUV is pretty close to TAV, which in Hebrew equals tav or peace. It's just the numeric equivalent of that. So I'm always telling you guys that in the Purple Rain song is a suspended 2 chord. They skip the bet. It's a way of bringing about the 413 equals pi. When you do that and you get down here to the end where the TUV is, where we want to seek peace and tav, what you get is it would be number, because it would be 16, 17, 18, because R is the letter 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. But again, I dropped the 1 and the zeros because that's what I was told to do. So when you get to the end where we're seeking peace and tav, okay, we get 222, or in upside down gematria, it's 666, which is why the 2 was sussed or skipped or suspended previously. Again, gives us the name skipper. So also, you can see if you make a curly 2 or a straight 2. If you make the straight 2, then you get more of the upside down 7, which is how the name David is spelled, Dalet Vav Dalet, which gives us the 3 times 7 equals 21. The pi symbol itself, okay, which if you do it upside down, it equals 17, and it comes from the Aleph itself. So that's how the name David is spelled in the Hebrew letters that look like 7s, okay? Here's the Hebrew Aleph Bet. I know it's not a great shot, you guys. Aleph, Bet, Gimel. You can see. I've explained to you guys a little bit before how they replace the bet where it's supposed to be with another Gimel, giving us JJ, or like when Prince sings about he's got another boot. It's the boots because they look like that. The J's, they're jokers, just like over here with the Joker 911. It's part of the breakdown. So then you can see that with the love symbol, how we've been working on putting it has to do with the Sephiroth, the tree of life, and the Sephiroth, and the letters, and the way that they were transposed to English, and the way that there is no despair in the world, that it's all just a matter of mathematics and gematria and hidden and exposed light, and the Creator is trying to expose himself to us through this language, which was taken away a long time ago and then given back to us through the tree of life. You'll also notice over here with the whole Lucifer thing, you guys, with Easter just around the corner, it's the whole egg. It's where the whole Easter egg comes from. It's EA, which is 6-9, which if you put a 6 and a 9 right up close to each other in an old-fashioned manner, then it gives you actually 666, okay? And that equals 18. So it's like the what came first, the chicken or the egg, because they started working on that right here in the 3G3 section, okay? And then it's KFC, and the way they work out the really funky gematria, you can get the Yves Saint Laurent symbol out of the Y2K. Everything, the matrix that we live in, like this isn't even everything, you guys. This is just the beginning of, the code. It's like the 88 here. Isn't there 88 keys on a piano or something like that? So it goes hand in hand. 9 times 9 is 81. You know what I mean? All of these mathematics, like I could stand here and do this all day, I'm sure. But I'm at a really odd angle because I'm trying to make this make sense to you as to why it has to do with the breakdown, the song breakdown, the investigation of Prince Rogers Nelson, why every single ICR number in the file starts with 16 because it's the 808. It's what we have down here. And as I explained just a moment ago, you guys can see I've been doing my research. I have lots and lots and lots to share with you. It's the rantings of a beautiful mind. Isn't it fun? Straight from the Creator. We are all reincarnated souls. This information was given to me in my life after life situation. I forgot it, and then it was given back to me 10 years later, and the Creator wants to now share it with us. The reason I'm holding this on the screen so long is so that you guys can look at it yourself and start to see things, because your soul will remember eventually. You'll see that the things that I'm saying make sense, that they go along with the... go to YouTube and Google I Pet Goat 2, the little skit with George Bush, how they had him sitting in when the Twin Towers, the hijack went down at 9/11 with the K. See the Twin Towers and the K, how there's 2 towers. And it happened on 9/11/2001 because the zeros and ones are not in there. You see how that works, you guys? This is not a game. It's no wonder that Michael Jordan, everybody famous, 23. It's 31/21. See, you can always lose the ones and the zeros because they're extra. They're just like a weight around the ankle, I suppose. In gematria, the way I see it. It's because of the way that the vowels are interchangeable. Which brings us to the very important aspect of why a lot of this is so important, is because in the song I Would Die for You, U is the 21st letter of the English alphabet, yet it's equivalent to Shin in the Hebrew, okay? But the Shin has 3 times 7, so it's why the breakdown was the 37th album, the 3rd song, and why he told us I would die for you, as well as what is the answer to the question of you, which I explained to you guys the other day. But more importantly, this is the name that we're not supposed to say, where they take the Hebrew vowels Yud and Hey and Vav and Hey, and then they put them together and they use the gematria of them to spell 666, which is why the Kingdom Hall uses that name and they're not supposed to, which is why the Vatican takes the Aleph and turns it into, oops, sorry guys, my bad. It's why they take the original Aleph and put their own spin on it, because as I told you guys, it's electric word life, and the Aleph then becomes a K. So the KKK, because it's a one, you see how they have the K and the double one? They think that they're the A, the Aleph. So then they do it 3 times. So 1 plus 1 is 3, right? Which is 13, which is equivalent to love in Hebrew. And then they do the KKK. It's Aleph, it's Adolf, it's AI, it's Kirk Johnson. Still the KKK in there. See, it says Kirk. And then 314413 equals 808 again, which equals 16, 9, 9, 11, 21. It's kind of crazy and weird, maybe for some people to grasp that everything in our world goes back to language and math, but it's why the Bible itself talked about the Tower of Babylon. They just said it in a way that would confuse us. And because of this life after life, and because I speak with the Creator and He wants to make these things known now, they're going to be known. And if they seem a little bit confusing at first and like, I don't know, hopefully you guys will think it's as enlightening as I do, because it's why in the song Breakdown he said that there's a door that you can walk through where there used to be a wall. See, the wall is down right now. And now we're responsible to come clean with what's in our heart, what we do with and for the Creator, what we're doing to the world to help expose Him. Because it's that time and it's a wonderful thing. Redemption is going to be very, very wonderful for a lot of people. Oops, sorry. So anyway, I came here to talk about this. I didn't know how else to do it, and I have to upload this video. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but I really pray it goes well for you guys and that you can understand it. Also, with the NWO, it's important to know the name Marone, which is also used in the investigation, as we know, Kirk and Marone. Marone, I'm not saying it quite right, is a Hebrew word that means the highest place, the highest sky, the place where the Creator Himself exists, and other people can't go, but I did when I died. And so it's interesting, you guys, that the NWO is right there, and it's also without the vowels, because that's why the vowels are interchangeable, because the Hebrew language is a consonantal language, and you don't always need the the way that it's been exposed to me, it you can sound it out in a way without the vowels. And I don't know, when it's transferred to English, it's my soul that remembers and the Creator that tells me. I can't really explain that one. I do hope and pray that this came across well and that you guys can understand what I'm saying. It's in the lyrics. It's what he pondered and meditated on when he wrote the songs. They're all in there. It's how cigarettes are named. It's how movies are named. It's why they tell us that, this whole Antichrist situation, there's going to be a dark, the dark night, because they want us to think that they're exposing peace when they're really trying to expose the 666. So, as well as 13, which is Islam, which is in the middle. It's 13, 1 a.m., I am. I had that written down on my other board, but I didn't put it in here. So that's part of the equation as well. It's why after a whole lifetime of fighting against politics and the man and things like that they want us to believe that is part of the breakdown, that ours truly performed at the Obama White House, and that Van Jones showed up after working for the White House and with Obama, and I'll get you those facts later. I don't have them in front of me. Phaedra went from being a social activist to securing all the rights for Warner Brothers. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. See big city? See it in the middle? It's Vatican City. CTY, big city. Hijack the plane, 9/11. Okay? I hope you guys get it. I love you very, 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 very much.